Welcome to Math Plus, where math makes sense. Add fractions with unlike denominators. A few videos ago, we learned how to add fractions with like denominators. So we're going to review those steps. Write down the fractions with like denominators, add or subtract the numerators, and keep the denominators the same. So the rules are the same whether you're adding or subtracting. But in this video, we are going to add. We're going to disregard 3 and 4. We will learn that in a future video. So let's look at an example. Here we have 1/3 plus 1/2. We cannot keep the denominator the same because they're different. So we have to find like denominators. In a previous video, we learned about equivalent fractions, where we can find a new fraction that is equivalent but has a different numerator and denominator. And we do that by multiplying by a fraction that is equal to 1. In other words, the numerator and denominator are the same. And if you remember, we used multiplication strips to do that. So if you can see down here, I have the multiplication strips for 3 and for 2. You can just write these out, but it's very handy to have these around if you want to make them, or you can use a multiplication chart and just look on the line for 2 and the line for 3. And we are looking for common multiples. So if I look down the list here, I see that they both have 6, they both have 12, they both have 18, and we could go on and on. But remember, we want the smallest common multiple because it's easier to deal with smaller numbers. So since 6 is a common multiple of both 3 and 2, that is going to be our new denominator. So over here, I have the fractions written down. I'm going to put a denominator of 6 because we want to find an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 6. In order to do that, I'm going to look at 1/3. And now I have to multiply 3 by 2 to get 6. So that means I need to multiply the numerator by 2. Because remember, the numerator and denominator must be the same. 1 times 2 is 2. So my new equivalent fraction is 2/6, which is equal to 1/3. So I'm going to go over here, and in place of 1/3, I'm going to write 2/6. Now I'm going to take 1/2. I have to multiply 2 by 3 to get 6. So I have to multiply the numerator by 3 as well. 1 times 3 is 3. So equivalent to 1/2 is 3/6. Over here, in place of 1/2, I'm going to write 3/6. Now my numerators are the same, so I'm able to add them. 2 plus 3 is 5. I added the numerators, and the denominator stays the same. So the answer is 5/6. And I can go back and write it up here too. All right, let's look at another example. Here we have 3/4 plus 1/6. Again, I have the multiple strips for 4 and the multiple strips for 6. And I'm looking for common multiples. I don't have to look very far. Right here is 12 and 12. So now I know that our new denominator is going to be 12. So for 3/4, I have to multiply 4 by 3 to get 12. I need to multiply the numerator by 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. So my new equivalent fraction for 3/4 is 9/12. Now for 1/6, I multiply 6 by 2 to get 12. So I have to multiply the numerator by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. My new equivalent fraction for 1/6 is now 2/12. Now I am able to add the fraction. I add the numerators. 9 plus 2 is 11, and the denominator stays the same. So it's the exact same process every time you add. Even if you're adding 3 fractions together, you use equivalent fractions to get like denominators. But we're going to end with one more example. 1/2 plus 3/10. So I have my multiples of 2 and my multiples of 10. And if I look here, 2 has a multiple that is 10, and we already have 10. You will find this happens very frequently. I'm not going to have to change the fraction 3/10 because all I need to do is change 1/2 to have a denominator of 10. So I'm going to come up here and put my denominator down. 2 times 5 equals 10. So I have to multiply the numerator by 5. 1 times 5 is 5. So my new fraction is 5/10. So I'm going to rewrite the problem. Instead of 1/2, I'm going to do 5/10 plus 3/10 equals, I add the numerators, 5 plus 3 is 8, and the denominator stays the same.